Welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. The U.S. military is facing its toughest challenge since World War II. But it's not the enemy, it's modernization. Can America keep pace with China's rapid military rise? Or is the Pentagon, well, stuck in the past? Today we're exploring the complex story behind the U.S. military's efforts to update its forces. It's a really critical discussion, driven by some urgent global threats. We'll examine the strategies, the cutting-edge tech that's actually available, and maybe the surprising hurdles, internal, political, reasonableness, that are preventing faster progress. Get ready to understand what's truly at stake in this race to adapt. So, to kick us off, let's unpack the core drivers. What's making this modernization push so urgent right now for the U.S. military? Why should you, listening, really care about this?
Well, the demand for new tech, new weapon systems.
Wow.
It's genuinely the most urgent it's been since World War II. And for you, the listener, this isn't just some abstract military thing. It directly impacts global stability, economic ties, the strategic choices everyone has to make. The primary driver, as, well, many sources point out, is the formidable Chinese military threat. It's expanding rapidly.
A major challenger across the board.
Exactly. Capabilities growing in, every domain. But it's not just China. If you connect this to the wider world, ongoing conflicts, look at Ukraine, the tensions in the Middle East. They're like a real-world test lab for current weapons.
And tough test lab.
Yeah, and frankly, they're showing the inadequacies, highlighting the need for new capabilities just to maintain that strategic edge. The Department of Defense, the DoD, they aim to stay, quote, one step ahead of the enemy. That's a huge task today.
Monumental given the speed everything moves at now.
It really is. It's not just about today's fight, but preparing for tomorrow's unknowns.
Okay, so the stakes are incredibly high. The need is clear, but, a race without a strategy is just chaos. How is the Department of Defense actually approaching this? We hear about Heidi Shyu, the Under Secretary for Research and Engineering, and her three-part strategy. Can you walk us through that?
Absolutely. And you're right, structure is key here. Shyu's strategy has three main themes tackling different parts of the challenge. First up is research and engineering, or R&E, the main goal. Seamless joint force operation.
Across all domains.
All of them: air, land, sea, cyber, space. And crucially, working closely with allies, it's about true interoperability.
Making sure everyone's systems can actually talk to each other.
Precisely. So under R&E, they're boosting partnerships: Australia, UK, Israel, NATO. It's not just sharing info, it's integrating systems. They have this foreign comparative test program specifically for working with allies, testing equipment together.
Finding the glitches before they happen for real.
Exactly. And there's a mission engineering division using modeling, simulation, basically wargaming future scenarios to find the gaps, figure out what tech is needed.
Okay, so R&E is about the tech and the partnerships. Makes sense. What's the second pillar?
The second theme is campaigning. This recognizes that, well, military modernization doesn't happen in a vacuum. It leans heavily on R&E, working with other agencies: Treasury, Commerce, State, even the Small Business Administration.
So bringing in the economic and diplomatic sides too.
Right. It's vital for things like securing supply chains, influencing international tech standards, that kind of thing. A major initiative here is the RDER program, Rapid Defense Experimentation Reserve.
RDER.
Yeah, and it's potentially a game changer. It runs continuous joint experiments in really fast 6-month cycles. They focus on 14 critical tech areas. Think biotech, quantum, advanced materials, Future G.
Future G?
Yeah.
Young 5G, you mean?
Exactly. The next leap in secure high-speed comms. Vital for AI, network ops, all of that. Plus hypersonics, AI, cyber, space tech. The quick cycle means they can iterate fast, adapt, get proven tech out to the warfighter much sooner than the old ways.
That rapid cycle does sound promising, especially compared to traditional acquisition timelines. Okay, and the third theme, how do they sustain this?
The third is building enduring advantages. This is about fixing the system, really. Identifying reforms to speed up development, acquisition, streamlining that whole notoriously slow process of getting tech from the lab to the field, and investing heavily in the workforce.
The people side.
Absolutely critical. Supporting small businesses, startups, those non-traditional companies, because that's often where the really disruptive ideas come from. Leveraging the whole U.S. S&T community and keeping that technical STEM workforce. Using university research centers, URCs, the FFRDCs, fostering innovation. For you, the listener, this means future security depends not just on inventing stuff, but on adopting it quickly, using everyone from labs to startups.
So a comprehensive DoD blueprint. But okay, the DoD sets the big picture. How does that translate down to, say, the U.S. Army? They haven't had a major modernization push in, 40 years? That's a huge gap. What are their specific priorities now?
That's a key point. The Army's effort is guided by 6 main priorities, aligned with Army Futures Command, AFC, since about 2018. These aren't just wish list items. They represent a fundamental shift for a multi-domain battlefield. First, long-range precision fires, hitting targets accurately from much further away, holding adversaries at risk from safer distances.
Keeping troops further from direct harm, ideally.
That's the idea. Second, the next-generation combat vehicle. More agile, networked, lethal, designed for complex environments, not the last war.
AI integration, better protection.
All of that. Third, future vertical lift. Not just new helicopters, but radically faster, longer range, maybe stealthier rotorcraft. Changes how you move forces.
Okay.
Fourth is air and missile defense. Drones, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles. The threat is way more complex now, so better defenses are essential. Fifth, the network. You could argue this underpins everything. A unified, secure, resilient communication backbone. The nervous system for the whole force.
Essential for that multi-domain idea.
Absolutely. And finally, sixth, soldier lethality. Everything to make the individual soldier more effective. Better sensors, targeting, lighter gear, advanced weapons, giving them the edge, the overall goal, a transformed multi-domain capable force by 2035, operating seamlessly across air, land, sea, cyberspace. And it's led by 8 dedicated cross-functional teams trying to cut through the usual red tape.
A massive undertaking for the Army. Now, what's fascinating and maybe frustrating is that you hear the tech to do a lot of this. It's already here. Eric Lipton, the NYT reporter, highlighted some of this. Can you give us some examples? What's ready to go, potentially?
It's true. A lot of the tech is available, even being tested or used. Look at naval warfare. Instead of just huge, expensive manned ships, think about collections of small, unmanned vessels, drones, essentially.
Cheaper, easier to build.
Way cheaper, easier to build, more mobile. They can stay out for maybe a year, patrol huge areas, see at night with infrared, persistent surveillance. They make the manned ships more efficient. Scouts, decoys, maybe even carrying weapons, strategically vital for places like the Persian Gulf or potentially the Pacific. It's a different model.
And specific examples.
Well, there's the Devil Ray, an unmanned vessel that can hit 90 miles per hour. Imagine trying to outrun that. It can track really fast boats.
Wow, 90 mil per hour on water.
Yeah, a significant tactical advantage. And then, of course, there's AI, artificial intelligence. The sheer amount of data now, from satellites, drones, ground sensors, it's overwhelming for humans.
Information overload.
Totally. AI is crucial for sifting through that data instantly, fusing it, identifying threats, spotting patterns humans might miss, and presenting it clearly. As Lipton pointed out, this has already happened. You see it in Ukraine. Computers fusing info, flagging threats for humans to make the final call. It massively speeds up decision-making.
Compressing that sensor-to-shooter time.
Exactly.
Okay, so the vision is there, the strategy's outlined, the tech is largely available, yet the narrative is the U.S. military is struggling to modernize. It seemed like a huge disconnect. What's actually standing in the way? Why aren't these amazing things being adopted faster?
This is where it gets, well, really interesting and honestly a bit concerning. The core problem isn't the tech itself. It's these deeply entrenched obstacles, institutional, political, economics. They're just slowing everything down, creating massive friction.
Like what, specifically?
Retired Rear Admiral Lawrence Selby, 36 years in, was incredibly blunt about it. He talked about an arrogance in the Navy. He said, and I'm quoting here, "The U.S. Navy is arrogant. We have an arrogance about, we've got these aircraft carriers, we've got these amazing submarines, we don't know anything else, and that is just wrong."
Wow, arrogance. That's a strong word from an admiral.
It is. He argued this tradition-bound thinking keeps the Navy lashed to big shipbuilding programs, resisting the shift to newer, maybe smaller, more agile things. It's that institutional culture acting as a brake.
But surely there are arguments for those big platforms, too. It can't just be internal resistance, can it?
Oh, absolutely. There are valid arguments, and that's part of the complexity. But beyond that culture piece, you have powerful political and economic forces. Lawmakers, like Senator Roger Wicker from Mississippi, are very open about prioritizing jobs-driven procurement policies.
Jobs in their state, you mean?
Exactly. Mississippi has the Huntington Ingalls Shipyard, building traditional destroyers like the Arleigh Burke class, about $2 billion each. They're still building lots of them, even though some strategists consider them increasingly vulnerable, especially in a potential Taiwan scenario with China.
So the economic impact in a state drives decisions. even if the strategic landscape is shifting.
It creates enormous pressure. The Pentagon actually proposed delaying an amphibious transport dock, also built there due to costs. But lawmakers, pushed by industry-funded think tanks, fought back hard, demanding more manned ships. It shows that tension between jobs, industry, and evolving military needs.
A real tug of war.
Selby summed it up as the machine. The whole system, budgeting, Congress, industry lobbying. He said, it is all designed to continue to produce what we've already got and make it a little better, but that is not good enough.
Not good enough. That's chilling.
It highlights that systemic inertia. And you also have disagreements within the military branches about new systems, plus ethical debates around autonomous weapons, adding more layers of delay.
What a complex picture. The weight of the past, the pressure of the present economy, fighting against the needs of the future. So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, our listener, and for national security going forward? We've seen the urgent need, the strategy, the incredible tech, but also these huge roadblocks.
Yeah, the core takeaway is pretty stark. The U.S. military knows it needs to modernize urgently, especially with threats like China. It has a strategy, it has the tech, but these institutional, political, economic hurdles are seriously hindering how fast they can adopt and integrate everything. Overcoming these obstacles in the road is just as critical, maybe even more critical, than inventing the next gadget, because the current system, as Selby put it, just making what we have a little better, well, it's simply not good enough for the challenges we're facing now and the ones coming down the pike.
The battle against inertia as much as anything else.
You could say that, yeah. A battle against ingrained habits and powerful domestic interests, alongside preparing for external threats.
It really leaves you with a critical question, doesn't it? In this era of, incredibly fast tech change and rising global threats, how does a nation effectively balance its economic interests, its jobs, its traditions, with the absolute necessity for cutting-edge security innovation? How do you break through the machine? Definitely something to think about. Thank you for joining us for this crucial discussion on the U.S. military's modernization challenges. We really hope you found this insightful. Hopefully it gave you a deeper understanding of just how complex this all is. If you want to stay informed on critical global issues like this, please do like, share, and subscribe to the Global WarWatch Network. We'd also genuinely love to hear your thoughts and perspectives. Please share them in the comment section below. You can also join us on social media. All the links are right there in the description. We really appreciate your time and participation.